Disney and Marvel continue to satisfy our superhero needs with an aggressive set of releases slated for this year. We've already had WandaVision, and now it's time for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. What can we expect from this new series? Months after the final events of Avengers Endgame, Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes are trying to find their new places in the world after the blip. They're both dealing with personal issues, and we're promised they will team up on a global adventure that tests their abilities and their patience. So this is a spoiler-free review of episode 1. I want to thank Disney Plus for allowing me to see this early. Like I said, the action picks up a few months after Endgame. Everyone who disappeared with the blip is back, but obviously the world isn't the same anymore. So far, this is an action series that's supported by some drama, not the other way around. We have a really exciting opening sequence that I think really sets the stage for what the series is going to show us. We get to see Anthony Mackie as Falcon in action, and it is intense. The camera movements and the way they filmed put us right in the middle of what's going on. We're on a ride, and it's really exciting. We're pretty much thrust right into the middle of an ongoing story, one that has Falcon going after something. And I didn't totally get the importance of this, and maybe more will come of it in the future episodes, but I think mainly this was to just set the overall tone of the show. With his opening scene, we know we're going to be seeing gunfights, explosions, aerial acrobatics, and some awesome stunt work. We get to see into Sam's life as well. Everything we've been shown in the movies has just been surrounding him as the Falcon, a soldier, a friend of Cap, and as an Avenger. Here we get to learn who he is. We see his family dynamic, and there is some drama there, which really helps now to build out a much more complex character. I like that not only do we get to see how Sam sees himself and how the world sees him, but also what effect that actually has or doesn't have. The interactions we see in this first episode with Sam, I think, are going to greatly influence his character arc through the show. While we've had someone to root for all the time, now I believe we're going to have even more of a reason to cheer him on because we're invested in everything that makes Sam who he is. Now, obviously, this show just isn't about Sam as Falcon, but also focuses on Bucky as the Winter Soldier. Because we've had a movie that focuses on a lot of his story as Winter Soldier, the show now focuses on Bucky post-Endgame. This first episode does a really good job of creating a sympathetic character who's dealing with a ton of demons. I like that he's snarky, but more so, I like that he's troubled. And even though we've seen a redemption story already with him, I think more is to come, and then that will really define how he moves forward and his eventual pairing with Sam. I like that we also get to see Bucky engage in some action as well, not just with some of the drama. We get to see him do some of his thing, and that's exciting too, because it's not just all the Falcon show. We get both of them doing what they do best, which is fighting. The episode is shot really well. I mean, it's cinematic and everything that we would expect from Marvel and Disney. I never felt like I was watching a TV show, but really just a portion of a movie. When I saw the trailer for this show, it really felt like a buddy cop show, but not one where the two leads are necessarily always chummy to each other, but more so that they work together well, but also wildly get on each other's nerves. And to that end, we see some drama being set up with villains. There's an unknown baddie who makes an appearance in the first episode, and I'm curious to see where it leads. I'm pretty sure this particular villain we see is only a small part of what's to come, but characteristics of them have me really intrigued, and I'm sure we'll also start all kinds of theories as to who or what they could be. The pace of this first episode felt good to me. I mean, it starts off exciting and fast, and then it slows down to build out the drama, and then the tension rises with that drama. And while there's not a ton of action sequences past the first portion of the episode, the pace doesn't drop due to the increasing drama that we continue to get. This first episode is 47 minutes, but the last 7-ish minutes are just credits. Frustratingly, there wasn't an end or post-credit scene in this first episode. Maybe some will come later in the season, kind of like how they did with WandaVision. I don't know. So if you're a fan of Marvel, watching this is a no-brainer. But is it good enough if you're not a fan? I think it is. I'm not sure we get enough total backstory on the characters to have a great grasp on them if this is your very first foray into the Marvel world. But there is some development that provides clues as to who they are. The story is also engaging, but it's a tease too. This first episode, while having exciting action, only whets our appetite for the drama that's building. The conflict is barely being scratched, but I have hopeful confidence that it will continue to build to a satisfying conclusion. There are several more characters that have been teased to us in trailers, but haven't appeared yet in this first episode. And I kind of like that because it allows the story to establish the Falcon and the Winter Soldier within this new world and let us connect with them before introducing, or maybe reintroducing, characters to us. I think this is a solid start to the show, and this first season is only 6 episodes, so I think a lot will be packed into each story. There's no sex or nudity, some profanity, and a bunch of violence. I give episode 1 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier 4.5 out of 5 couches. So what are you looking forward to most in this? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.